already 7 weeks and 3 days pregnant. And I've been joking with this girl that you're ready, come. So when I woke up this morning, I felt like my water broke. But I mean, I've never been pregnant before, so I don't really know. So I called my midwife and she said it sounds like it. I should go to the hospital and have it checked. I'd never packed my hospital bag, even though I had everything I needed to take, or the baby's hospital bag. So we just packed everything, and now we're on the way to the hospital. My hope, I don't even know what I want, to be honest. Like, there's a high chance they'll tell us to go back home, your water didn't break, or you're fine, or go back home, come back tomorrow so we can induce you. Whatever the outcome is, I know that God is in control, but it's just funny how this came around. I forgot my lotion, I forgot my tripod stand. It's okay. Let's see how it goes. This girl is ready to be out of here. Myself, I'm ready to be done with carrying her in my bed. So the time is 4 o'clock. We got here around 2. Abby? My hater is here hating on me. Haters be hating. Anyways, we got here around 2 and they asked me questions. I gave them all the information and we finally came into the triage room. So I was laying down and they asked me a bunch of questions. I answered everything, and then the doctor came and did an examination, a sterile speculum something examination, and a manual examination to test if my water broke. So the first one was very uncomfortable. I don't think it was worse than a pap smear. I don't think I've ever experienced that kind of pain before. They said I should just be squeezing Bibi's hand. I should give him 1% of the pain, and then afterwards, the first one that they used like a swab to check if the liquid was amniotic fluid wasn't as bad as when the doctor put her hand, like her fingers inside. I felt brutalized, invaded. But yeah, and then they're like, oh, the test is fine. It didn't change color, it's still yellow. But there's another one they will do to double check. They'll put it under the microscope to just be sure that it's not amniotic fluid. So just been here chilling. I took a nap. I still feel nauseous from breakfast. Like I feel like the food is stuck in my throat. And that's just the stuff monitoring the baby's heartbeat. This girl, she's the queen of unbothered. Even when they were doing everything and I was like, my heart rate was up and everything, she never even said. She just living her best life. Very happy, unbothered baby girl. I stand. So now we're just waiting for them to come back and give us the result. One of the nurses came and was like, oh yeah, it's amniotic fluid. She was like, I guess they haven't told you yet. I was like, they've not told us anything. We've been sleeping. So I'm just waiting for them to come back in, tell us what the result is and what the plan is. Are we going back home today, to come back tomorrow? I'm tired. I've been thinking of food. I'm not hungry, but thinking of food. I'm not able to eat now because I just took the medication and they want to monitor me for the next 1 hour, and I have this line on that is annoying me because it was actually very painful. Like, your vein is too small, whatever. Anyway, so I've taken the misoprostol and it's gonna start the contractions. PB has gone downstairs to fit our baby's car seat because we didn't do that. We're planning to do it this weekend. See how the things go. So yeah, keep you up posted. It's the way that I wanted to get my hair done tomorrow. And this happened, so of course I had to cancel my appointment. Now I'm able to eat something. I've taken the first pill and I had to wait 1 hour because of the nausea that it causes to eat. Then I'll take another pill. Soon I have to find a way to take this wig off and tie scarf. But yeah, PB went home because network is bad here and we have service today, so, and it's teaching, so he went home so that we can do that. We don't live too far from the hospital. I did not vlog this whole thing like I planned. Sorry about that. So in this last clip you just finished watching, that was about 6:45 p.m. I didn't really know what was going to happen like in the next couple of minutes, which was the reason why I was unable to continue vlogging, because it was a lot. So as of 7 p.m. I had my first contractions and it was intense. I was like, oh my god, is that what a contraction is meant to feel like? I thought it was going to be like cramps and something that you can withhold, but it was really bad. I couldn't even sit still. So I started moving around, and as I mentioned, PB wasn't around. He had gone home. So I started having contractions from like 7 p.m. and the contractions were coming fast back to back, because I thought like with the what's it called, with the induction, I thought it was going to imitate regular labor. That is, the contractions are going to start and maybe like 15 minutes apart. But mine were coming five minutes, and it was strong, it was hard, it was intense. At that point, I was like, vlogging is not even for me. This is not a moment. I'm not even thinking of bringing out my phone to vlog. So shout out and kudos to all those women that actually vlog their whole birth and delivery experience, because it's a lot. It is a lot. And I also had forgotten my tripod stand, so it wasn't something that I could like prop up my phone or my camera in one corner and like have everything recorded, which now I actually regret it, because I wish I recorded the moment that my baby came into the world. But it's okay. This is why I'm telling the story, so that way I can keep watching it and keep reminding myself of the experience. Anyways, so my contraction started around 7 p.m. and it was coming really hard, 5 minutes apart. And funny thing, I was still able to join my church's prayer, actually church's meeting. I was able to join my community's also called prayer group as well, even in the midst of that. And the nurses were coming in and out at that point in time just to check on me, and the contractions were just hard. Then PB came back around like 9 o'clock and the contractions had like increased. So now they had gone from 5 minutes interval to 3 minutes interval, and I was like so tired. So I tried to like walk around, move around, sway my hips, do everything I'd like watched and learned and read about that helps to make those pain go really fast. And PB was such a rock star. He would like rub my back, say words of affirmation, encourage me, try to play music, do different things, and that kept going. So this is me withholding contractions from like 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Even at 9 p.m. I was still sort of fine, because I was like I joined my group fellowship, and a lot of times sometimes someone might not be able to lead, so I actually contemplated the idea of leading, but I wasn't able to lead because I knew that nurses and doctors would be coming in and out of my room. So I didn't end up leading that session that day, and I wanted to, but I didn't. That was how much energy I still had. But I mean, we just started. I didn't know the contractions were going to get really bad. So that's like 9:30, contractions started getting really bad. It moved from every 3 minutes to every 1 minute. Like I'll literally, because there was a LCD clock on the wall, I'll literally look at the clock, and I'll literally be looking at the clock like each time we reached 1 minute, then I'll be like, oh my god, this is hard, this is getting really hard. And something really interesting happened, which is why I feel like everyone generally in life, just be very sensitive to the leading of the Holy Spirit. So because of the way my body is shaped, right, when I was having my contractions, my stomach wasn't getting harder, like it was still the same like soft. And one of my nurse that was working, I don't know if she was new or whatever, or new to that floor, or new to the hospital, she called another nurse to help her check something. And I was like crying, I was like, oh, can I really get something for pain relief? And that nurse was like, the other nurse that come into the room was like, your stomach isn't hard, you haven't even started, those are not even contractions, those are cramps. And I was like, I'm in pain, I'm in anguish, and you have the guts to be telling me that I am not experiencing contractions, they are cramps. Are you kidding me? Like, why would you even say that to someone that is in a very vulnerable position? Why? Because my stomach is hard, like it's not hardened when the contractions are happening, which there is no scientific proof to say that everybody's stomach is going to be hard. Like my stomach wasn't hard throughout my contractions. So why would she say that? As soon as she said that, my morale went down. I was just really like sad. Like, how can you say that my contractions have never even started? So you're trying to tell me that it's going to get worse than this. And she's like, yeah, we love pain. Pain is good. Pain will help the baby come out and everything. So I mean, my husband and I, we didn't like say anything. My husband just started like praying that woman with me. So I just started praying that this one is bringing discouragement to something that's been going really, really well, I would say. So she left, and thankfully we didn't see her face again until after the baby was born. So anyways, I kept on like crying and like, oh, I really want something for the pain. Like I wasn't even thinking epidural at this point. I was thinking maybe morphine or gas and air or anything that would just help relieve the pain. And they're like, oh, unfortunately the 2 doctors that were on call that day, they're like in surgery. 2 people are having CS, so they can't give me any medication without the doctor checking me. So I was just like chilling. So around like 11, the doctor finally came available. He came and he checked. He was like, oh great, you're 3 centimeters dilated. And I was like, oh okay, that's amazing. I mean, maybe not 11 o'clock, maybe this was like 12 o'clock or thereabout, I'm not quite sure. It's like, you're dilated. And then I'm like, oh okay, cool. He's like, yeah, you can give her the epidural. So I was like, okay, awesome, that's amazing, we're ready. And also they went and called the anesthetist. You people know the word person I'm trying to call. So they went and called the person, and that kind of took time. So that whole process took like 1 hour before the person came, set up and everything. So they finally put the stuff in my back. And it was funny because the nurse was so sweet. She was like, you know, as they're trying to inject this thing in your spine, you can't move during any contraction. So if you need to squeeze my hand, if you need to scream, if you need to cry, whatever it is, you absolutely cannot move during this like when they're putting it in your spine. And my contractions were happening every 1 minute, and they were really, really strong. So I was like, okay, how am I gonna do? She's like, you're a champ, you got this. She was really good on the words of affirmation. So I held that hand during the process. I think I had like about maybe 2 or 3 contractions in the process of them like putting it in my spine, taping my back. But it wasn't like a bad experience. I'm so thankful I didn't have like any allergic reactions, because I know sometimes people live with like migraine headaches, and like in really, really worst cases people actually do get paralyzed by it. But none of that. Like it was really, really fine. But to me, I feel like that thing did not work. I wasn't getting it because I was still in like the contractions pain were really, really strong. So I kept asking like, is this thing working? When is it gonna kick in? They're like, I'll give it a little bit. And then we waited 10 minutes. This was almost like 1 o'clock or thereabout, and like nothing was happening. Like another nurse came in and like helped me increase it, and like even at that I was still feeling like the pain and somewhat pressure. So another nurse came and she's like, oh, it's time for us to start preparing you for your birth. Let me check how dilated you. And fam, I was already 10 centimeter dilated. I went from 3 to 10 in like what, 1.5 2 hour period, which I thought was like super like miraculous, like just such period. Not minding that I had started like -1 before the induction. And so the nurse started prepping stuff, started putting stuff together, put on my legs and all. And she was like, okay, I'm going to start telling you to push, but you're not yet pushing to give birth. You're pushing so that your baby would descend into your pelvic area. And I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. She started telling me push. So I'll push, and like the baby was descending and all. And at the point in time, they could see her head, and like they called beside to like, oh, come see your baby's head, come see your baby's head. She has a lot of hair. She has a full head of hair. And I'm like, oh my God, that's good. She's like, ah. And also to me, I was like, I didn't think that like I was actually in labor. Like I didn't think I was delivering at that point in time, because just me and the nurse, like there was no doctor there. Like she was just like push, and then the baby kept on descending. And like they actually coached me on how to push, even though I'd done a lot of research. I read a lot of books on like what to push, because before reading you think, oh, if you're pushing, you're trying to push through your vaginal opening, but actually you're pushing like you're constipating. You're pushing like you're trying to push out a big toilet. Like, you know, when you're constipated, how you push in the toilet. So that's how you actually push. So they coached me on how to push and everything, told me to put your chin down, take a deep breath, blow it out, hold it, and like then push, and they were like push, and all. So I was like, is this what's happening? So anyways, as soon as I knew, the doctor came in and was like, yeah, it's time for you to have your baby. And I'm like, okay, cool. This was around like maybe like 2 a.m. It was the next day already, right? But I was just like, well, I know, because if you know me, I sleep early. Like I'm not a night owl. So we're just saying, well, try not to sleep, because I was like tired at that point. So the doctor came in, it's time to have your baby. He's like, I want you to listen to my instructions, so that way you have a good experience and you do not tear. And I'm like, say no more. I'm a model student. I listen to instructions. So she's like, okay, no problem. So I'm like, okay, it's time for you to push. When I tell you to stop pushing, stop pushing. When I tell you to stop pushing, stop pushing. So like, okay, it's time for you. So I just started pushing. So I push, breathe in, hold your, I was holding my leg up. So I was holding one side, my midwife, because I had a midwife alongside, like the hospital team. So I was holding one leg, like holding your leg up to push, because you have to like really push, like you're constipated. So push, stop. Push, stop. So anyways, I did that, and before I knew it, they said, Busaya, come and collect the baby. And because the head was already out, so he literally grabbed our baby as she was coming out from my vaginal opening. He grabbed it, because I was on that, like, cut our baby and put it on my stomach. And I was like, wait a minute, what just happened now? They said you just had a baby. I was like, what? How? That was it? Like, that's all? They said yes. I was like, that's all. And ask me why I'm saying that. It was like easier than I thought it would be. Like, I thought it was going to be harder than it was. I mean, did I have like painful contractions? Yes, I did. But like the pushing itself, the delivery itself wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I was so surprised, and I'm like, okay, my God, this is my baby. Like, this is so surreal. And they're like, oh my God, you did so good. You don't have any tears. Everything went smooth. They gave me oxytocin, and my placenta came out. They squeezed my stomach. They cleaned me up. I didn't poop, thankfully. They wiped me up, everything. There was blood and all. And I was just like, oh my gosh. She's like, we're going to come back and move you to the postpartum care place. We went to the postpartum care place. And the hospital I gave it, they're very bad at like having private rooms, because you can either have a private room or semi-private room. So private room is only in your room. Semi-private is 2 people, but it's not like you guys are going to be seeing each other. They're like curtains separating you, and there's the standard room which has like 4 for 4 people, where curtains will separate you. So we wanted a private room, but that's always based on availability. So for the first, I don't even, so that day, that morning, right, because I had my baby around like 2-ish a.m. in the morning, they're taking us to like the postpartum room, the semi, if you guys can hear my baby crying in the background, they're taking us to the semi-private room, and they were going, so we stayed there, and like in the evening, they're like, a private room had opened up, so we moved, and that's it. I just had a baby. I had a baby, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. Now, I don't know if it was the epidural, even though I still felt pain. I feel like the epidural didn't kick in, because the time to push to the time I received it were like so close. And mind you, I was meant to take 4 of those pills, but I ended up taking only 2. And I just want to say, I believe it's God. Like, I'm not one to just like say, oh, I'm just gonna term it a supernatural birth, even though everyone I've told this story to say it is indeed. Like, the fact that you're asking, am I done? Is the baby here? Like, it's just so marvelous. Like, they took, after I had the baby, they took her away, wrapped her up in a swaddle, weighed her, suctioned her, did everything. The Phoenix, everything was all over, and it was just so beautiful. Like, I met my baby, and she's such a beautiful person, and we're so in love. Me and Bibi were so smitten by this little girl. Like, she has us wrapped around her finger. I can't even deny. Like, I look at her and I just want to like carry her all the time. I just want to be with me all the time, sleep on my chest. Like, she's so beautiful. So yeah, that's the end of my birth story. If I missed out any details, I'll put it in the comment section, because I don't want to forget anything. Like, I feel like God is, and God was so faithful throughout that whole process, and I can't even deny his hand. I can't even deny like what he did, like the fact that everything just went smoothly. Like, I started the day so unpredictable, and it ended in such a smooth manner. I just give God all the glory. So yeah, that's my birth story. So you tell me, do you think it's a supernatural birth or not? Me, I don't know, but in all things, I'm thankful to God, because it's his work, it's his will, it's his doing, and it is beyond marvelous in my sight. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can ask me below. I'll be more than happy to share.
Thanks for watching, and till next time. Bye.